Well, hello folks, my name's Ian and a warm welcome to my channel. A warm welcome to my shed even. Probably been a fortnight since I did a scrapping video. I think last weekend I didn't actually do anything. I went on that day out to Congleton. That didn't mean any scrap didn't come in. Like, we ended up storing behind the bins again. So all that lot's been, processed. It's not been weighed in. In between, I've picked up two big empty paint drums from work. They've got lids and they've got these sealable catches. Because I'm going to put some stuff in there for long-term exterior storage, which I don't want filling up full of water. The shed, well, I can get in. We have got a pretty much clear walkway. We did pick up another five bags of fittings, you want to call it that, waste leftovers from the solar inverter guy. Big thanks to Spectra Solar for those. He saves them for me now. Hey, it was a win-win. He's got an industrial bin. He pays to get rid of his waste by weight. I take the bags out. I save him the weight. Is there 5 bags, which got me a little something. Right. I need to clear the bench of my scrap because I've got a wood burner I need to finish off today. It's at this point that I decided to make this video. We picked a ceiling fan up as well this week. Right, as you can see, Ian's been panning for brass in the shed, and it's surprising how much brass there is in here. Oh, right, these safety specs. You only get one pair of eyes, so you might as well, keep them, look after them. I think we all learn on the hard way. We all wait until we've had that little bit of metal in the eye, and you spend a week in pain. So then you decide to wear safety specs whenever you're using a grinder or bashing things. Little tip though, if you're a scrapper, don't wear these sort of like yellowy tinted ones. You're far better off with clear ones. Why? Here's my aluminium bag. So I've been padding for brass, like I said, and it seems that every time I cut into something that's aluminium, when I'm wearing these, it gives everything a bit of a brassy tinge. And it's only when you feel the weight you think, nah, that's not brass. So that's an interesting sideline. Where are we up to on here? Where are we up to and why did I start this video? Well, my iron tin is full, so that means time to be changed over. I need my bench to make this work on this, so I decided to tattle all the bits that I had. And that's when I come up with Ian, what are you doing? When is enough? Enough. So we'll start with this. You can see on that side, I've taken the fins off. I'm thinking, why should I throw that into shred? It's got big chunks of aluminium on it. Well, I'm not doing. Not, I said. I don't see why I have to throw that in. So I'm all about with that side. And if you have a closer look, maybe you can see which side the camera is. These look like they're set in. You can see a definite two linear marks. as though you could pull them out. It ain't going to be true because it's obviously been cast in place, but that did give me an idea, which is how do we get them out? So I'm just going to take that one, wood chisel. Whoa! Bash the camera at the same time. That's the problems when you're working in a small, cluttered, cramped shit house of a shed. Anyway, on the, I'm going to put I've got a wood chisel. It's an old wood chisel. I use it because it's got a metal head. It's designed for hitting, this one. That goes all the way through. So you're not just hitting, you know, a plastic handle, which will probably damage. Give it a little bit of a sharp. I'm just going to go and break the tension there. And I'm going to turn it over. And I'm just going to break the tension there. Oh, that's my terminology anyway. Oh, I've got a little cut there and a tiny cut there, which means if I get these water pump pliers, I can just pull it out like pulling peggies out. As you can see, we've got a nice clean flush bit. Now I know it's not a lot, but it's micro scrapping, and not everybody's got the time for that. Have we, Mike? Shark scrapper even. Now what happens if I want to give it the one thing? Yeah, not quite as clean. I think it does definitely need the two wax. So now I've got nothing to lean it against, so that's interesting. No, that's not. I'll do them all like that first. Maybe if I go deep enough, I can get away with it. Right. I think the secret is just to break that joint down there. Once you've done that, yeah. So you only need one smack with the chisel and they come off. Just got to make sure that you go deep enough to just fracture the side bit. Look at that, clean as a whistle. If I could figure a way of getting that out, I could put it in there probably and go with the chisel all the way around. But even I'm not going to do that. So interestingly enough, if you do get a nice motor with a decent bearing on, you test the bearing, you've got to put some pressure on it and twist it. Feel it. There's no grinding, no burring, grating noises on there. Right, you can actually cut that off flush, or that's definitely pressed in. You could put it so bash it through, and you'd end up with a shaft with a bearing on. And those people are using lathes and milling machine. There's so many channels that I've shown that trick, that you've got something it's not centered, you put that in your lathe chuck's spinning round, something's not centered, it's not fully tightened up, you put that in and you press it against it, and the bearing actually lines the rotation up centrically. You know what I mean, even though I'm not very good at English and I was born here and all. Right, now there we go. Shred. Boosh. Onwards and upwards. My next little problem with this it's cast aluminium, compressed water trap oil filter. Unfortunately, both the glasses were broke, so it's scrap. But at the moment it's irony, so I need to strip it. That led me to a tiny little problem. The whole reason of buying this set of punches from Aldi, as I've noticed the construction of this has got small dowling pins that go all the way through. I've taken a couple out. It's at this point I decided, oh, I'll tell you what, I'll make a video. The trials and tribulations of how Ian decided to get those out when he got the finest punch he'd just bought, and they were too big for the hole it's got to go in. Yes, I could bang it in hard and make the hole bigger, but my punch will end up being stuck in it. Well, I needed something thinner. The benefits of micro scrapping, the curse of micro scrapping, is you tend to, well, I do anyway, keep all the bits that I think will come in useful for something. And this was off a printer. We all keep our printer rods, don't we? And yeah, that's just the nice side, but it's not hard enough. And when I banged it, the end bent over. It bent over pretty badly. So I needed something thin and hard. I had a look, and I come out with a cable clamp that had a masonry nail sticking through. Ideal, hard, thin enough. It was too small, held it with a pair of pliers, it was that way. Give it a whack with the hammer, yes, it went down there, great. Took the pliers away, put it in, hit it, and it went over there somewhere. We'll find it sometime when we're tidying up. Back to plan A, get another cable clip. Just masonry nail, quite hard, pull that out, keep it in there, and in theory, don't hit it too hard and do the same thing again. There we go. Now I should have enough to get a grip on. Get a grip on, pun intended. That's, you've got to lever it against itself like that. There we go. That's that out, and that goes in the thread. Right. That should come apart. Yes. So we're getting the, what I want to do, I'll carry on and find you something else interesting to show you. Well, I guess rather than leaving you in suspenders, that was simply just unscrewed. It had these components in it, some sort of filter, valve, O-rings. End of the day, means I've got a chunky piece of cast aluminium, weighty enough, and then another one to do, so I'll get that done and then I'll move on to something else. So in the scheme of things, not a lot, all nice and clean, giving us a total of £3 2 ounces, or what, just over 1.4 kilogram. Now I know last time I weighed in, 2 weeks ago, I got 1,050 pounds per tonne for cast aluminium, or £1.05 a kilogram. Well, that will be £2.10p. That's £1.05. Yeah, well, £1.40p, something like that. There were some bits of brass in it which have already gone in the brass tub, so every little helps, doesn't it? And a surprising find now. If I can find where I put it, it's there. Yeah, surprising find. 2 videos back, me 86-year-old Cyril, and he gave me some scrap, and when I was going through the tubs I came across this big bolt. And I thought to myself, yeah, got to be brass, that, possibly. Well, sad to say, the bit at the end is iron, but pleasantly enough, that soon clogs a file up, doesn't it? Boom. Copper! Of course. That beggars the question, what do I do with it? I guess there's always going to come a time where you want to drift something out with a softer metal. So I think, because you can see that's nice, that's been well rounded over, I think that's what Cyril's used it as. He's used it as a drift. Put iron collar around it. That's going to bash out and make it nice and solid. There ain't no way that is unscrewing, is there? No way on earth. So didn't it at that end. What I might do, I actually cut it off and just have a nice round soft punch. Something else for the shed. Weighs over a pound. So that's half a kilogram. So half a kilogram heavy copper, £5.60 kilogram. £2.50. 50 shilling for us old folk. 50 of the Queen's shilling. Yeah. Lizzie's Queen Elizabeth has passed on, hasn't she? I'm not savvy enough technically to put like a little banner in the corner, but never met her myself. It was only twice she ever come to me town. 1977, and I was doing my A-levels. I was actually doing my A-level exams, so I couldn't go down to the town hall and with the other 100,000 people and see her from a tiny distance. The second time she came to Lee was to open a building. Interestingly, I think my daughter was on reception at the time at that building. But she didn't even see her because there was such a crowd of people going past that she was in the middle. And she's only tiny. She's even smaller than my missus. So no, I've never met her. Never. Well, not going to now, am I? My son met her. My son met her a couple of times. He was in the army. So once was on parade down in Portsmouth, the land of the Knackler's workshop, and they're opening a museum, and she came down to open this museum. All the people there were on parade. My son was on parade there, and she walked past, and she actually stopped and turned round and talked to him. That was televised. Unfortunately, they cut it off the person before she got to talk to my son. And I think the second time, he actually had dinner with the Queen, believe it or not. Sounds grand. But there was probably another 300 people on that table. And he weren't close enough so that she could say, "Could you pass me the salt, young man?" She was tiny dot, way at the end of the other table. But he can still say he's had dinner with the Queen, can't he? That's interesting, isn't it? He swore his allegiance to the Queen and the country. What do servicemen now have to do? Do they have to now swear allegiance to the King? Or was there something in the allegiance which said something like, you know, I promised to, you know, fight for the country, the monarch at the time? I don't know. I'll have to ask him next time I see him. Right. Bit more, less of the maudling, and we'll finish off. Finish off by a little bit of an apology to all my YouTube friends and the people I watch. I've just got Amazon Prime, which means I've been binge watching Reacher, the Lord of the Rings prequel. I'm going to be starting the Game of Thrones prequel, and lots of others, which means you've only got so much spare time and you can't spend it all watching YouTube when there's so many good things on TV to watch, which I very rarely watch TV. I watched Samaritan the Saturday night. That was that was last night when Ralph was on. Raphael was on. Raphael Scrapper. I should have watched Raphael Scrapper. Sylvester Stallone. He should hang his acting head up now, really. But there's a good twist in that. That well caught me out. Weekend Sheds. Put a link in. I don't just watch all scrapping channels. I watch engineering channels. I watch people in sheds. You know, Grandad's shed, Ben's workshop. Lots of other people sheds. Anyway, Weekend Sheds did a little. Started a little series where he interviews other people in their sheds. I thought, what a great idea that. And he put this guy on. So, sorry, I've had to turn you around. The light wasn't right. So, correction. Weekend Shed Heads channel. I'll put a link in the description. So he started this series where he interviews other shed owners. That's the right terminology. And he does a little interview about what they get up to. So the first guest was Mark from Adventures in a Small Shed, or Adventures in a Little Shed. I'll put a link down. I've never met a guy with such a zest for life as that guy, Mark. Believe me, pop over, have a look, say hello. See, you've seen him here. The guy's got the right attitude. Now, I thought I had a small shed. Well, I've not. I've got a big shed. It's just small on the inside because it's full of stuff. Right? Hey, sorry. Anyway, hang on. Oh, orange juice. 3 weeks dry. Good grief. Yeah, Weekend Shed Head doing this series, and it's an interesting channel as well. And I said Mark from the Little Shed Adventures. Pop over. Honestly, it's you can go around YouTube. You always sometimes find that you never find them on your own, just browsing the internet. But you see other people, you like them, you like the style. They introduce you to other people. It's great. It's like I mentioned him earlier. Paul from the Knackler's Workshop came and visited myself, and I picked up on a lot of the people that commented in his channel, and some of them, I'm an avid viewer of their channels. You pick up plenty of tips, you know, way too many to mention. I did mention, didn't I, Ben's Workshop before as well, John's Workshop. And there's ones with names are difficult to pronounce. Xanadu in Australia. Those are engineering. So I do dabble in wood now and again, not a lot. Me and wood have this love-hate relationship. Metal, you make a mistake, you can, generally speaking, put stuff back in and make it look like new. Ian's waffling on. Ian's got to carry on stripping, making room in his shed, and then I can bring more stuff in. Right, you lot take care. Ian's back on the orange juice. Really need some vodka in that, really. See you all soon. Take care.